We see the impact of mental health every day in our community. This May, Journey Mental Health Center is hosting a series of events for Mental Health Awareness Month, including a high-energy night out of drag bingo, a youth mental health luncheon featuring a powerful lineup of local health, education, and family systems leaders, plus a live fireside chat with Olympic medalist Molly Seidel. That's all right here in Madison to break down the stigma around mental health. Find details and get tickets at journeymhc.org/MHAM. This is CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Today, it's gonna be May. So it's time for our monthly guide on the best things to do and eat each month, plus our themed picks, which for this May is how to take advantage of UW-Madison's summer break, even if you're not a student. I'm with the team now, executive producer Haley Sperling. Hey, Haley.
Hi, Bianca. Happy spring. I feel so springy.
Me too, and so happy. And we're here with our newsletter editor, Rob Thomas. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Bianca.
How's it going?
It's good. It feels like spring is always so short in Madison, so I feel like we gotta like wring every drop out of it before summer hits.
Wringing the drops out, wringing them out together, drops of Jupiter. Haley, I'm thinking about the campus. You'll see why I'm thinking about astronomy in a moment. But Haley, you picked out our theme for this month, taking advantage of UW-Madison after students graduate and summer break begins. Do you want to talk about that theme pick and what your recommendation is?
Yeah, I mean, as someone who went to UW-Madison and now has lived here as a non-student human for more time than I lived here as a student human, I just think there's such a stark difference and a contrast between when school is in session and when school is not in session. And you can see that over, spring break and winter break, but it is so apparent, especially during the summers. And Madison's summers are so special. And while we're not technically, in the summer months, May is when graduation happens. So it's when a bunch of students leave campus, and it feels like a ghost town, but like the most lively ghost town that you can imagine. And so it's just, for me, the start of the UW summer break is also sort of like the start of the non-student humans kind of come out of their suburban, and I say suburban, I live on the east side, it's not suburbs. We come out from the outskirts and I think come downtown a little bit more, take advantage of the campus areas that we don't normally go to. Sometimes I'm not that old, but sometimes I do feel a little bit weird or out of place being in a UW building. I'm like, do you guys know that I'm not supposed to be here?
Totally.
Or am I allowed to be here? But in the summer, no rules. Doesn't matter. You can go anywhere.
I remember somebody saying Madison is a place where you can have a midlife crisis when you're 30 because you're surrounded by so many young people.
Yeah, and they're partying all year. They just had their Mifflin block party, and now it's kind of we can come out. And also, anytime you're driving on campus or you come out on campus, you are going to be amongst such a crowd of people. It's hard to find your way from the outskirts of town while there are students here. It's just going to be a little bit more trouble for parking, or just you're taking up space with the thousands of other people that now they've kind of cleared out. And I feel like it's worth sharing what the spring commencement is, because it's kind of an exciting one. Just so folks know, spring commencement ceremonies take place Friday, May 8th and Saturday, May 9th. And James Patterson, the storyteller, the author, is going to be delivering the keynote address. I don't know if that means anything to y'all, but it's a big name.
Oh, it's huge. And he actually has some pretty deep ties to UW too as well, which I did not really realize before this news came out.
No, I've read several of his books. He's mostly a thriller writer. You go to any beach in the world, there's somebody reading a James Patterson book on that beach. Yeah.
And it's very likely someone's probably reading a James Patterson book at the Terrace. And Haley, I think that's where your recommendation is for this special theme of May.
Yes, absolutely. I am fully going to be taking advantage of Terrace season, because it can be a bloodbath fighting for one of those chairs when the students are there, and they totally deserve to have it. The Terrace is, I saw it described on the website, it was supposed to be a student playground, when it was first designed. And it's like, yeah, it is. But it's like, hey, when the students are away, us normies can play. And so I'm going to be hitting up the terrace. And for anyone that doesn't know, the Terrace Memorial Union, located on the beautiful Lake Mendota, it is open 7 days a week until about 11 p.m. It is the home to those iconic sunburst chairs. Do you guys know how many chairs they put out on the terrace every year? It's
gotta
lot.
be a couple thousand at least.
Not enough. Like,
No.
right. That's what I would say. That's my guess. Yeah.
Not enough. It's 2,000. Bianca, you were like right on
Whoa.
that. Yeah.
Well, I might have, it's because of my time emceeing at the Jazz Fest where they say, 10,000 people come to the terrace during that event. So
yeah. So it's also a fun fact that I thought was interesting. According to the union website, it's not exactly clear when the chairs first appeared on the terrace, but they can be seen in photographs taken before 1938. So people have been chilling there for a long, long time. But the iconic sunburst chairs, they're a little bit newer on the scene. Back in the 80s, they were patented and produced right over here in Oregon, Wisconsin. The colors have official names, if you guys didn't know. It's Sunshine Yellow, John Deere Green, and Alice Chalmers Orange. And they represent the seasons of spring, summer, and fall, and also pay homage to Wisconsin's farming traditions. So these chairs, the meanings go deep, and I just think that's kind of cool. Obviously, there's food and drink available at the terrace. Some rules that you may or may not know that are actually kind of enforced. No shareable size food. Like you can bring in outside food from the terrace, but like don't camp out and like order in a whole picnic from Uber Eats. They don't want you to have that. No outside alcohol at all. They are pretty vigilant, and they will be very vigilant about checking IDs. No dogs. Do not bring your dogs to the terrace. Huge loss for me, but don't do it. I would love to pet your dog though. And no bikes, which is something I didn't really consider, but they're like, don't bring your bike on the terrace. Use the bike racks. You're also not supposed to bring rollerblades, skateboards, scooters, frisbees, TM, or other flying disc or ball play. So no tomfoolery on this terrace unless it is union sanctioned. They're covering their ground. You can still have fun. You can still have fun at the terrace, though. Like I said, they host a lot of free events all season long. They've got movies, music. You can check out the union website for a full calendar. We will have a link to that in our show notes. Some upcoming shows happening on the terrace this month. On May 8th, the Funky JBs, led by the iconic drummer Joey Banks, will be playing at the terrace. Sure to be a good time. And then over on May 9th, the Mercy Brothers, featuring Sean Michael Dargan, will be playing 80s new wave and college rock covers. So you can't tell me that's not fun.
I just interviewed Sean Michael Dargan for the newsletter about his Beatles tribute band.
He's love everywhere. It.
Yeah.
You brought so many good nuggets and context and information. Like, I'm really excited about the terrace chairs history related to Wisconsin farming. Like, I just started learning more about Frank Alice and the Alice Chalmers legacy, but I'll leave it at that because, heck, Rob, your recommendation for UW-Madison and Making the Most is also at the terrace.
Yeah, I just want to drill down on something that Haley mentioned, which is movies on the terrace. I love movies outside in warm weather. Whether it's going to a drive-in in Wisconsin or your friends put up a screen in the backyard and show the Mean Girls remake, which happened last summer. For years and years on Monday nights, they've had Lakeside Cinema at the UW Terrace, a free series programmed by students of the Wisconsin Union Directorate Film Committee. And like they have great taste. They pick movies that are crowd pleasers, that are a lot of fun to see with a group. To be fair, not everybody's paying attention to the movie. They're chatting, but if you can roll with that vibe, it's a great time. I don't think they've released the schedule for this summer, but last summer they had The Mitchells versus the Machines and Raiders of the Lost Ark, a lot of like summer movies. So it's just a very fun time. Like I said, it's free. They'll often do like trivia contests before and after the movie so you can win prizes. Of course, you can get a beer and get a brat and just really enjoy it. So because it's Monday nights, I think if you don't know about it, you might not ordinarily go down to the terrace, but I really think people should check out Lakeside Cinema on Monday nights.
I like this recommendation. It's very peak. I think the one experience that stands out to me is watching Point Break.
Oh, perfect.
The 1991 film with like it's a surfers crime movie and gangsters. And I don't know if it's because of the actors or whatnot, but what's coming up is I feel like Madison feels like Sydney, Australia or something. Like something about putting the big screen out there just makes the city feel even bigger than it is and more bombastic. I don't know. Sorry about that word choice.
No, I love it. I love it. I forgot. I should have said, the screen is up against the lake. So it's just a great view in addition to a great movie. Yeah.
It's so cool. I saw several years ago the Iron Giant there, which was such a fun experience. And like it just felt so cozy and so homey, even though you're outside with a bunch of strangers. And then back in 2022, I actually wrote this like little preview for Tone Madison, RIP, about Jennifer's Body screening at the Terrace, which is one of my, if it was, we were in Letterboxd top 4, that would be one of my top 4 for sure. And they screened that during Pride Month, no less, which I thought was just beautiful. So shout out to the Terrace for putting on some cool stuff.
Yeah. My recommendation for making the most of UW-Madison would be going not too far from the Terrace, but my recommendation is going and doing a picnic on Observatory Hill Overlook. So this is probably one of my favorite places on campus, but if you know Observatory Drive, it's that windy road that goes up, past Park Street, past some of the libraries, up alongside Bascom Hill, and then goes through campus and takes you to the Lakeshore Drives and further out. You can take it all the way down to Picnic Point. And of course, UW's awesome when it's got so many students around. And I feel like this would be a spot where people aren't commuting to classes, and it would be the serene, bucolic beauty and space to just appreciate the overlook. So taking this from the Lakeshore Preserve website, they say it's, quote, arguably the single most dramatic view of Lake Mendota anywhere in Madison. And I don't disagree. Do you guys know the space I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. The summer after my freshman year at UW, I actually stayed in Madison to take this like 8-week intensive Russian boot camp. But all our classes were like in that area. And so when we'd be walking back from class at night, I would always stop and take in that view because it's so interesting because the first word that came to my mind is what you said, Bianca, so serene. But then when you also said the single most dramatic view of Lake Mendota, like those two words don't go together, but they are so true at the same time. It is drama. It is a cinematic view.
It really is. So you can actually see pretty much all of Picnic Point, right? So you're looking to the left, and as you scan, you can see all of University Bay all the way out to Maple Bluff. So it really is such a wide swath of Lake Mendota, and it's been a favorite for me for a long time, largely because I did L&S honors. Here's a moment I can shout that out. I did honors at UW, but it was in that same building with Washburn Observatory, which has this wicked cool telescope. I said at the top of a conversation that I've been thinking about astronomy, which is run by UW's astronomy department. That opens to the public in June, and maybe I'll tell you about that in the June guide. But it is still a really neat building to sit by this massive telescope and look out at the expanse of beautiful Madison. And also my grandma went to there are a couple of dorms that are right in the area, and she went to Elizabeth Waters, which sits right up on that hill. And then her brother went to Cronsidge or something like that, stayed in that dorm, one of the Lakeshore dorms. And it just feels like you can it's almost like a look back in time.
Oh, yeah. If I wasn't a Southeast girl, I would have lived in Liz Waters for sure. I love Liz Waters. They get the most amazing view, and I hope those people appreciate it.
Rob, do you know this spot I'm talking about?
I don't. You have to take me on a guided tour this summer. Yeah.
Let's go. It's a beautiful place to walk, and I think it's a great place to picnic and put a blanket out. I also have this memory of one of the times Barack Obama came to campus when I was a student, and there were so many people here that there was an overflow in this area. And so we couldn't see him, but they put speakers out, and it just like resonated over the area. And Yeah, I don't know. It's very nostalgic for me. And if you have any sort of academic whimsy and fancy yourself a poet or studying English at the university, this is like my place to feel like I'm from the 1800s or something and I'm wearing lace and having a lace umbrella. I'm going to pivot for things to do this month, in addition to things to do on campus. And I'm talking about accessories, lace umbrellas, florals for spring, groundbreaking. Of course, May 1st, we've been talking about movies, is the release of the long-awaited, by many, at least for me, Devil Wears Prada 2 movie, for which I will be going to a local theater and dressing up to watch. I also want an outfit to dress up, and the Midwest Vintage Flea for spring is this weekend, May 2nd and 3rd. And this is just such a massive event. It's held at Garver Feed Mill, put on by some of my buddies, and it's 2 days, 45 plus vendors, thousands of quote, one-of-a-kind outfits and accessories can attest. And its claim is that it's the largest clothing market in the Midwest. Is it just me, or do you guys feel like spring, when it starts getting warm out, you want some new fits?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I go through the seasonal sort of like, when it gets warm out, I'm like, how did I dress like this before? Like, I don't remember not wearing sweatshirts all the time. And it's the same thing. The same thing in winter. I'm like, what kind of shoes do I wear when I don't wear sandals? Like, there's snow on the ground. This doesn't work. So absolutely.
I feel like I dig into my summer wardrobe and I've like forgotten everything I own. So it's sort of like a new wardrobe to me in a way because I have short-term memory loss. So that shirt's nice. I'll wear that.
That's cute.
Yeah. Like, I like that we're all so present that we, it's short-term memory loss or you're living in the moment. And
that's a better way to put it. Yeah.
So one of the things I think is really cool, because I think, we've seen the Midwest Vintage Flea really grow, and I'm kind of surprised to hear this is their 17th edition, because they do 2 a year, and this market, I feel like they really know what they're doing. And as a little background, each of the vendors are bringing really their best things. Like, people look forward to this market and curate certain outfits to make a splash. They're amongst a group of really standout like creators online and people that have great style. So that's something to shout out. And I do want to say, if you're planning to go to Midwest Vintage Flea, there is an admission that's $5 for general admission on Saturday. And the Saturday hours are from 11 to 6. But Sunday's free, general admission 11 to 4. I think the first day probably is ticketed because those are the best finds. They even have early bird tickets if you want to be like first to see all of the cool things. And yeah, I haven't gone in the past couple of rounds, but I think this is my moment to dive in and have a fashionista moment.
I absolutely need to dive in and have a fashionista moment. Maybe we can go. I need to like redo my whole closet, because now I'm thinking about it. Like, I have gotten some of my favorite wardrobe staples from the Midwest Vintage Flea. I've got this like Harley Davidson denim vest that this guy sold me for $10. I got this Kiss t-shirt that I wear almost every day. You guys are very familiar with that one.
I know that shirt.
Came from Midwest Vintage Flea. I also have like some wall art that I got from there too. So yeah, I'm putting it on my calendar now.
Yeah, there's more than just clothes, which is fun too. I can't get enough of things that I want to put up on my walls that I don't. But I am living for the Devil Wears Prada campaign that's out there. Doechii and Lady Gaga have a song in the movie Runway that's dropped. I'm very, very excited. And, it's taking us back outside because it is spring. And speaking of florals, if I find like a dress that has flowers all over it, I'd be really happy, because this month, I haven't heard of this before, but in Monticello, Wisconsin, so about a half hour away, a little under, there's a Tulip Fest. So Tulip Fest 2026 is put on by Parfection Produce Farm Market, and apparently it's their 3rd annual, and they have, quote, over 100,000 tulips planted. So you can go, frolic through the tulips. And one of the quotes on their page is, that's depending on how much the deer come and eat the tulips.
No.
So that's kind of hilarious that they have that literal warning. But I imagine there will be a lot of tulips. And this is a moment for frolicking.
I love that. I didn't even know that was happening. 100,000 tulips. Where are we? Denmark?
I mean, truly, there's a lot of overlap with the agriculture. I feel like agriculture is the word for this May, guys, so far. Well, hey, speaking about places to dress up, Haley, what is your to-do for May?
My to-do, and boy, are we dressing up. It's the Janesville Renaissance Fair. And my question for the two of you, dost thou enjoy the Renaissance Fair?
I doth.
I dothn't. Sorry.
Well, if you know me, have been in a D&D campaign for years, and me and my squad always go to the Bristol Renaissance Fair, which is like a couple hours away. So I didn't even realize there was one happening in Janesville. And this is so exciting because it's happening May 16th and 17th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Traxler Park, Janesville, which is about a 45 to 50 minute drive from Madison, depending on where you're coming from. So really not that bad. You can make a whole day of that pretty easily. Tickets are pretty inexpensive, $8 for adults, and you get $1 off with a donation of a non-perishable food item to support local charities, which is really awesome. And then for children 5 to 12, seniors, military, and first responders, tickets are $5, and then children under 5 are free. So this is a fun event, can be for the whole family, can be for your squad. Dress up, dress down, bring cash. That is needed for both purchasing tickets, and some of the vendors will be cash only. And then another note of this event, it is rain or shine. This is their 18th annual Ren Fair, and they are going into it. Their tagline is, quote, "A step back in time, a leap forward in fun." So can't beat that, right?
You can't. You can't.
The full 2026 list of entertainers wasn't on the website when I last checked, but what has been confirmed, at least via the Janesville Ren Fair Facebook page, was the Raven's Nest Armored Combat Troop. They'll be hosting the inaugural Janesville Cup. And you guys might actually have heard of these folks because they actually sold out an event earlier this year on Valentine's Day. It was called Love is a Battlefield over at Garver Feed Mill. So if you missed that, here's your chance to catch these guys doing some medieval violence, which is really the only way to put it. So I'm stoked. They got swords. They'll be fighting. I love to see boys in big armor wrestle each other. That's a great time to me. Otherwise, you can always assume there's going to be great actors there, music, folklore, storytelling, usually some kind of like play, performances and whatnot. And then, of course, what else is there to do? You shop, you eat, and you shop, and you walk around. It's a place to see and be seen. You can expect lots of great food, plenty of vendors selling their wares like jewelry, leather goods, trinkets. I'm a trinket girl. Art, crystals, fragrance oils, ironworks, obviously. So yeah, catch me at the Ren Fair. You guys already know I've got like 6 outfits. If you've seen my Instagram, I post heavily from the Ren Fair.
Is there anything particular you pinpoint as what you love about Ren Fairs, or just the whole Ren vibe?
It's the vibe. And I've said it before, but like anytime I can commit to a bit, like, and especially for me, when I go with my group of friends, there's 6 of us and we all commit really hard. And when we all roll up, like people are constantly being like, you guys look great. And nothing feeds your ego more when you are like feeling amazing, looking amazing, hanging out with your best friends outside, drinking beer and watching boys fight. Like that is my ideal.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I really want to see people like sashaying in their metal armor. I think that would be peak. And I can't attest more. Y'all look fabulous when you go. And I think it's just a moment for us to get outside and play. Like you said, it is a moment, and to see each other and be in community and heck, even fight each other for fun. Some good fun. Rob, what are you trying to do in May?
Well, I feel bad because mine, there's no fashion component to mine other than everybody will be wearing like cargo shorts and t-shirts with their favorite podcast on it.
Well, to bring it back to Devil Wears Prada, like, you just think that that's not fashion,
Okay.
but
It's all fashion, Rob.
Yes, I'm sure somebody in New York picked out that podcast design 6 months ago that ended up on my chest. But I'm talking about one of my favorite podcasts, aside from this one, of course, which is Comedy Bang Bang, which is doing a live show at the Barrymore Theater on May 27th. And do you guys know about this podcast at all?
I've heard of it. It sounds familiar, but I haven't listened.
Yeah. So it's a comedy podcast, an improvised comedy podcast where the host, Scott Aukerman, brings on a rotating group of comedians and they make up characters and they don't tell the host ahead of time who they're going to be, and they do an interview. They're some of the best improvisers in the world, and the interviews go on these incredibly weird tangents. And it's just so fun. Like, I listen to it every week, and I've been to a couple of the live shows when the tours come through Madison, and they're just so fun because they are like the best comedians in the world, but they're also just like playing on stage, if you know what I mean. Like, they're just really delighting in what each other comes up with. So it's different than like a stand-up show, which I like a lot, but everything is mostly pre-thought out. But these guys are just kind of living in the moment and coming up with stuff. Paul F. Tompkins, who's like on every podcast in the world, is going to be there, and they don't mention the other comedians until showtime. I'm really excited about that. I already got tickets. It's May 27th at the Barrymore. I saw some tickets are still available, and I highly recommend it. And you can dress up if you want. I'm not holding you back.
but getting in character, I think that is a theme. I'm just going to make everything a theme.
You're really finding the threads.
Threads. Pulling
Fashion.
the threads.
Fashion.
So we've got plenty to do. How about things to eat in May? What's going on in the food scene that folks should definitely check out? Haley, what's top of mind?
Well, May is coffee time for me. Every month is coffee time for me, but we got lucky because in my neighborhood, a brand new location of Ledger Coffee Roasters has opened up on Winnebago Street. And I actually just checked it out this week. It's a super cute spot. For those folks who don't know, Ledger Coffee Roasters is a local quote unquote micro roastery, meaning that they're roasting their stuff right here, producing and serving ethically sourced handcrafted coffee in our town of Madison, in our city of Madison, rather, RIP to the town of Madison. They already have a spot over at Garver Feed Mill. And Bianca, I know you actually shouted out Ledger Coffee in our recent coffee shop roundup.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I buy their roasted coffee beans. My favorite is People's Champ by Ledger Coffee Roasters. And I was really excited to see they had a new location. Didn't know that was happening until it hit the local news.
Yeah, I think I found it too when Rob wrote about it in the newsletter. And I was like, oh, that's what's going into that building. So this new spot, it just opened in late April over at 2237 Winnebago Street, which was formerly home to Calnan Design Studio and formerly home to a CO2 refill spot, which I always thought was like so random because I used to live literally like 1 block away. And I was like, who is refilling that much CO2 that they have a whole storefront for it? But like, when you think about it, people do love to drink certain carbonated drinks around these parts, so I guess it does make sense.
Effervescence.
Yes, it's light, it's airy. But the new spot, the new Ledger that just opened, it's very cute. It's quite small. There's about like 5 tables and a couple bar spots. Very chill. When I went there, I got a 16-ounce cold brew with a cardamom syrup, which is something that I actually first got over at Kamaria Coffee, and it was so yummy there that I wanted to do it again. And that came out to about $6.50. Take that in whatever context that you will. Their hours, they are closed on Monday, but Tuesday to Friday, they are open 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Saturday and Sunday, they are open 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And in my quest to become more of a morning person, I'm trying to get out of the house and I'm luring myself out of the house with coffee. So that's how I ended up there.
The way coffee lures.
She does.
She do. And also, we, in the modern age, you spend so much time inside. It really is one of the things that gets me out of the house, too. And yeah, shout out to them. I'm really excited about Ledger Coffee. I'll bring up the thing that I want to check out, which is Mint Mark's new overflow rooftop bar. The Perch has partially opened, and from the photos I'm seeing and people posting, it feels like it's one of the other buzzy things happening in Madison. So Mint Mark, on their new location on East Washington and First in the Eastern, formerly known as the Standard, Mint Mark has been talking about their rooftop bar, and it's located on the 6th floor, and they open their doors. According to their Instagram, their cocktail bar is open Wednesday through Thursday from 3 p.m. to midnight, and Friday through Sunday, 2 p.m. till midnight for this time. Eventually, they're going to open the outdoor component, but it looks really groovy. It's 1960s. This is my take on what it is, but 1960s decor, vibrant colors, the orange, mustard yellow, avocado greens plants, and just, man-made materials mixed with woods and natural things. And also they have these like red lamps in there that are reminiscent of my favorite girl, the mushroom. That is really exciting. Just a lot of decorative, groovy, stuff going on in the Perch. And I haven't been yet, but I want to try.
So orange, yellow, and green. Do you think this is a secret terrace homage? Is it Alice Chalmers?
I'm doing the
orange?
Illuminati face right now.
It's all coming together.
That's right.
I have to say though, the Perch, I feel like this is like the most hotly anticipated opening of this year so far. I mean, other than the public market, but that's another podcast in itself. Like, people have been waiting for this. People, as in myself, have been waiting for this for a long time. So super, super stoked that it's finally opening up.
I've seen a few friends post about going in there and just being really wowed. And from the photos, it looks really wowing. Wow, 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 wow. Of course, they have some top cocktail bartender talent behind the bar, shouting out Matt. I don't know if he listens to podcasts. And I've seen some other familiar faces. I don't know who's permanent staff there, so I won't go too far in guessing. But yeah, that's something I'm going to check out. Rob, how about you?
Speaking of local heroes and local businesses expanding, Youngblood Beer Company is going to be opening their new tap room and production facility in DeForest in May. This has been a long time coming. It's going to be the anchor of the new DeForest Yards development up there, and it's going to have a big patio, a full kitchen. I think they're moving most of their beer production there. And I love Youngblood because of the beer, and of course because of they have the weirdest names in any liquor store. Like right now, I have a 4-pack of a pastry stout called Kickball to the Death in my beer fridge.
Dangerous.
Yes!
I love it. And currently on tap at their, they have 2 locations right now on King Street and then at North Street. They have an IPA called Nobody Is Taking Me Seriously in This Bucket Hat.
I keep Hat Haze. I'm having a good time in this conversation. I'm hack laughing.
Yeah. And then there's a pale ale called Gruber versus Nicolette Cage Match, which is an homage to our Wisconsin's 2 favorite billboard attorneys. And I just love that. And I'd love to see Youngblood succeed and expanding. I hope as they grow, they don't lose that weirdness. Like, I feel like it's one of the things I love about it is like they have these, the beer is great. They do some really adventurous things and the names are just weird and fun. And I would hate to see them lose that as they grow. So, but anyway, I don't have a firm opening date on the DeForest location, but they said it's going to open sometime in May. So keep an eye on their Instagram.
Keep Youngblood weird. I hope DeForest can handle that weirdness. I used to hang out at the one on North Street a lot and talking to the bartender, and we were talking about the weird names. And he was saying that sometimes they'll just name these beers on things that they've overheard people saying. Right. That's where it comes from.
I really think too, I've been having this conversation with a few different friends the past couple of weeks, which is the places that really stand out and are successful in Madison, I think go the extra mile to make their place unique and have unique interesting, artful components versus generic.
Right.
I think that we see a lot of places come and go, but the places that make that extra effort to give us something fun to talk about, to laugh about, that are very human, that are very of Madison and weird, they're really going for it. So, hey, we've got a May full of things to do, lots of whimsy, lots of outdoor florals, and possibly some good fashion and metal fashioning at the Renaissance. Y'all, thanks for your great picks this May. Haley Sperling, see you later.
Thanks, Bianca. Stay whimsical.
Stay whimsical. And Rob Thomas, au revoir.
Au revoir.
That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm your host, Bianca Martin. Don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Madison neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. And if you enjoyed today's show, why not share this episode with your potential Renaissance fair or tulip sniffing friend? All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, take good care. Thanks for listening, and thanks for keeping it weird.